The fundamental thing that is in focus is to make sure that the taxpayer is compliant with the provisions of the tax laws, and the tax authority is unduly punitive, to the taxpayers. And at the end of the day, we are good for it. Yeah.
That's great to know. Are there international bodies or organizations that oversee or regulate the practice of Andersen in the context of its operations within the tax domain? Could you provide insight into the level of scrutiny that your firm undergoes in its consultancy and audit activities?
Just like you said when you were introducing me, right? Andersen belongs to Andersen Global, which is a network of independent member firms in over 172 countries across the world. So we are guided by the standards that are set by Andersen Global, and they conduct periodic checks from time to time to ensure that we are there with those standards. So when we are dealing with clients, when we are dealing with regulatory authorities, beyond the ethics requirements in dealing with those stakeholders, we have, I won't say a higher standard to comply with, but I'll just say that we have Andersen Global to face, in conducting our affairs. So our documentations, our interactions with the various stakeholders have to comply with those standards such that we don't run foul of the law. So we are conversant of the kind of environment we operate in and the ethical requirements, But so on a day-to-day basis, with that understanding in mind, we ensure that we don't run foul of any ethical standards. Yeah.
That's great. Recognizing the proactive efforts of tax agencies like LIRS in promoting tax education, how does Andersen contribute meaningfully to these endeavors?
So I think what we do in Andersen, is to issue newsletters and alerts with respect to any new developments that comes up from the LIRS. Maybe the LIRS wants to provide clarification on certain provisions of the tax laws, or they've introduced new tools, So what we do is to educate our clients to say, okay, this is a new development, and these are new obligations that you have to comply with in fulfilling your tax requirements. So we do that on a constant basis. We also go on TV stations, interviews like this one, to educate members of the public on the new requirements that the LIRS has issued.